How about Britt Drozda? Round of applause for her. Well, I'm really excited to be here. Tonight at Ambrose West, we had a great show last night in Nashville. And hopefully we'll have a good one tonight. Devil's filling up my ear with china plates and chandeliers and the sweetest lies you've ever heard. Ain't it just like in my dreams, traded all for magic beams? Then I wonder, will I ever learn? In a world of my oh my, wisdom is in short supply, even as the voices fill the air. All the starlings murmurate, as for me I hesitate, fall into a state of disrepair. Oh, 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 they're calling to me from the other side. Oh, 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 I'm another scarecrow learning how to fly. Plays his fiddle song. What could possibly go wrong as the shadows drift along the lane? We're all digging in the mines. You get yours and I'll get mine. In these caverns measureless to man. London calling, purple rain pulling on my apron strings. Fill that purse with pocket change tonight. Me, I ain't yet giving in this world I'm living in, 'cause I know the future's out of sight. Oh, 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 they're calling to me from the other side. Oh, 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 I'm another scarecrow learning how to fly. Oh, oh, other side. Oh, 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 I'm another scarecrow learning how to fly. I'm another scarecrow learning how to fly. I'm another scarecrow learning how to fly. Thank you. Thanks. Thanks a lot, y'all. Oh, man. It's awesome to be back in Asheville. Oh, my gosh, I've traveled a lot the last week. But all good things, but it's just nice to be home and nice to be with y'all. So thank you so much for coming out
and it's great to see so many familiar faces and friends and some new friends who are having birthdays. Yeah, that first song is Another Scarecrow Learning How to Fly, and that's the title track off of this album that has just come out yesterday. It dropped, as the kids say. Charlie reminded me of that term. I didn't even remember that term. Charlie was like, "Don't they say it dropped? Isn't that what they say now?" Yeah, so it came out yesterday. We had a great show at Douglas Corner Cafe. On the very first song, when I was playing that song, my pick. If you haven't noticed, I ruptured a tendon playing basketball with this guy over here, Tate. Back in December, I ruptured this thing, and I'm still wearing it. I thought I would be out of it, but I'll be darned if I'm going to reschedule an album release because of a little finger. Yeah. But I was playing yesterday, and very first song, my pick slipped because it's just not as easy to hold, and then I shredded my knuckle, and so then I got blood all over my guitar and knuckle the very first song, and so don't be surprised if by the end of the night I'm playing with my toes or something. Hopefully we won't come to that, but we'll just have to see. But if I have to play with my toes, I will. So. All right, this next song is called Worth Fighting For. I see the grapevines in the yard, they're swinging like a hangman's noose. I try so hard, I just can't seem to cut them loose. And now they're crawling up the rail, breaking in our window pane, and that's a shame. And all the angels on the rooftop like staccato in the rain. When the story's all played out, we're left to wonder who's to blame, singing someone else's song, wearing someone else's smile. We've done it for a while. Creep across the floor, we're holding out for something more. Oh, you and me, we got a love worth fighting for. Do you remember that September when you and I drove west to see the canyons and the desert and the sky all painted red? And do you ever think about all those stupid things we did when we were kids? And now someone stole your locket and your pockets full of straw. They left you lying in the ditch, left you with a broken jaw. Well, I believed in you back then, and I believe in you today. So won't you stay? Shadows creep across the floor, we're holding out for something more. You and me, we got a love worth fighting for. Put the dog to bed. Now I have another drink, and I hear you coming up for air in the middle of the night, and it ain't right. When all the daffodils and dollar bills we planted in the spring are breaking through the ground without a sound, and I swear it's all in vain. The only thing I give a damn about in this old house is you. It's only you. Shadows creep across the floor,
we're holding out for something more. You and me, we got a love worth fighting for. Fighting for.
Thanks. All right. Jen, so I'm sure a lot of y'all know that Jennifer Brew Davis is my wife, and she's right there. She's going to be doing the merch table later. But we've gotten to travel out west a lot, and one of the places that we have been several times is Montana, and our new favorite place out in Montana is called Red Lodge, Montana. And Red Lodge is just gorgeous, and it's really kind of an undiscovered little gem that's very small. Has anybody been to Red Lodge? Show of hands. Well, you should add it to your list. It's over near Yellowstone National Park, and I wrote this song when we were out there last summer, and it's just kind of a made-up song about a guy that went out there and decided to stay. It's called I Love You, That's All.
Hey there, Cinderella, I know it's been a while, and a postcard from a rodeo was always more my style. I was never any good at picking up the phone or anything that had to do with home. I'm working at the tavern and I fish the days away. I'm living with this ski bum in a rental down on Main, with the Beartooths to the west of me and the Bighorns in the east. Well, I think a man can finally find some peace. Now I know what you're thinking, and I acted like a fool. When you're playing hide and seek, you can't make up your own rules. I just called to tell you the Gipper's holding on, and I love you, that's all. Rollers won me over at the church in town. Don't tell the Bowery boys I'd never live it down. I get a coffee every morning and a burrito at midday, but the whiskey always has the final say. The Katie's in the canyon and they're letting go spray. Summer brings the straw hats and the campers up to play. They pass through these mountains on the way to Yellowstone, for a country where the buffalo still roam. I know what you're thinking, and I acted like a fool. When you're playing hide and seek, you can't make up your own rules. I just called to tell you the Gipper's holding on, and I love you, that's all. I just called to tell you that the Gipper's holding on, and I love you, that's all.
Thank you. Is it just me, or is this mic dropping down? I can't tell. Yeah, dropping mics too, dropping albums and mics. Over here on my right, on the electric guitar, the mandolin, acoustic guitar, all sorts of things. My buddy and my producer, originally from Greenville, South Carolina, now living in Nashville, Tennessee, Mr. Charlie Chamberlain. All right, well, speaking of Nashville, this next song is about that. I grew up in Nashville, and there was a rope swing that we used to go to, and this is kind of about that. It's called Harpeth River Road, and it's about change, and we're seeing change all over Asheville these days, but there's a lot of change. Probably, I feel like Nashville and Asheville are probably two of the cities that are changing the most these days, just because of construction and such. But anyway, this little intro called Confluence, then we'll go into Harpeth River Road. We were kings with fishing poles, Music City boys at the swimming hole. We climbed this sycamore, then let her go down on the Harpeth River Road. Too young for Tootsies or the station inn, and all the neon signs on the Mumbrian. We had a case of beer and a radio down on the Harpeth River Road. That muddy water was good for the soul. It wasn't clean, but it shined like gold. There's not a wild oat we didn't sow down on the Harpeth River Road. We'd get off work in the summertime. We'd bring our girlfriends out with a box of wine. We had each other, wild Irish rose, down on the Harpeth River Road. That muddy water was good for the soul. Wasn't clean, but it shined like gold. And there's not a wild oat we didn't sow down on the Harpeth River Road. My buddy Jake, he was in Iraq. He had a wife and kids, now he ain't coming back to the
last I saw him was 12 years ago, down on the Harpeth River Road. We're older now, and the water's changed. They filled the empty fields with houses and lanes, sprawling mansions of marble and stone, down on the Harpeth River Road. That muddy water was good for the soul. It wasn't clean, but it shined like gold. There's not a wild oak we didn't see down on the Harpeth River Road. That muddy water, it was good for the soul. It wasn't clean, but it shined like gold. There's not a wild oak we didn't see down on the Harpeth River, down on the Harpeth, down on the Harpeth River Road. Thank you.
Just so everybody knows, the drinks are downstairs. So don't feel bad if you want to get up and go. Over here on my left, on the bass, the doghouse bass, the electric bass, Mr. Andrew Platt. Originally from New York, now residing in Asheville, North Carolina. And he's playing with a terrific Australian bluegrass gal named Christy Cox, and is touring with her. So check Christy Cox out if you have time later tonight. All right. Yeah. I don't need to introduce this song. I'm just gonna start playing. All right, thanks, y'all. Thanks for coming out. I'm lying on my back, frozen peas in my jock strap, and the doc said that I can't have any booze. I popped a Percocet, but it ain't working yet, and I'm stuck with the vasectomy blues. Well, my wife laughed at the stitch. She called me a little bitch. She said, talk to me when you birthed a kid or two. She's been liberated, 'cause I've been emasculated, and I'm stuck with the vasectomy blues. Whitetails are in rut. Salmon are spawning, but urologists will cut. I drove a big Dodge Ram. I had to trade it for this minivan. Now how's a self-respecting man supposed to cruise? I might get back to loving, but when push comes to shoving, I'm stuck with the vasectomy blues. Oh, I might get back to loving, but the buns can't go in the oven, and I'm stuck with the vasectomy blues. Thank you. You can tell how many people have had vasectomies in the audience based on the applause you get from them. And all the women are like, "Wee, that's awesome." Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. A lot of these songs that I'm playing so far are off the new album. We're gonna play some other stuff later. I'm gonna let Mr. Charlie switch over to the mandolin, and while he's doing that, introduce Mr. Ryan Lassiter back here on the drums. Give it up for Ryan. Okay, Ryan's from Eastern North Carolina. Ryan is graciously filling in tonight and is doing a terrific job, don't you think? Hard to know. So yeah, originally from Eastern North Carolina, studied music at App State, and now here he is living in Asheville. So, all right, this next tune is called "Not the Man You Knew." Another dead-end dream, another empty room. Without the harmony, it felt more like a tune. But it gave me time to think of all I should have done. The things I said to you, or I should have left alone. I spent some time chasing rainbows and howling at the moon. I'm not who I'm gonna be, but I'm not the man you. I got this photograph from our special day. Oh, it's all champagne smiles and wedding cake. I'd like to travel back to 1993. I tell the bride and groom to work for the fantasy. I've given up the bottle and I'm telling you the truth. I'm not who I'm gonna be, but I'm not the man you. I've lost count of all the lines upon my face, but I've got a dozen roses wrapped in cellophane. And I'm not used to making calls from the road, but it was on my mind, and I wanted you to know. I got a West Coast swing, but I'll be home real soon. I'm not who I'm gonna be, but I'm not the man you knew. I'm not the man you knew. I'm not the man you knew. Thanks. All right. What does a cow with no lips say? Ooh. Get it? That's one of my daughter's jokes. Here's another one. Why was the chicken doing jumping jacks? Because she wanted scrambled eggs. Here's a transition. We travel a lot as a family and spend a lot of time together. So I'm happy to say that my daughter has taken on my trait for dad jokes. There should be a whole new category called daughter jokes. Yeah, we got to travel out to Billings, Montana several years ago, and I wrote a song about that place, and it's called Billings. And there's a couple of specific parts to this song. One is the rim rocks, which are these beautiful rocks that are a couple 100 feet high, and they stretch all up and down sort of the downtown and then the suburbs. And then another thing that's sort of specific in this song is the Bakken, which is an oil reserve and a natural gas. Actually, maybe it's both an oil and natural gas reserve that's in North Dakota. "30 acres on the Rim Rocks, 30 miles outside of town. 30 days to go till the bank forecloses. They finally shut us down. Oh, 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 Billy, I always found you willing, but I don't think you want me anymore. I'll sell the John Deere, the Holsteins and the Hereford steer, soon as there's a buyer. But tonight it's Johnny Cash, James Lee Burke and Sour Match, sitting by the fire. Oh, 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 Billy, I always found you willing, but I don't think you want me anymore. Well, I might float on right down the Yellowstone, or head east toward the Bakken. With all that drilling, I could make a killing, and they say that place is rocking. Billy, I always found you willing, I don't think you want me anymore, anymore. Oh, 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 Billy, I always found you willing, I don't think you want me anymore, anymore. No, I don't think you want me anymore. Thanks. All right, or excuse me, the first one. That's on the first album. This next song is not on either album. It's called Thomas Bigfoot Spencer, and it's a true story about a a fella that was from Virginia, and he went over to Tennessee and would go long hunting back in the late 18th century. And long hunting was when people would go and like kill buffalo and animals and gather their pelts and take them back and sell them back along the coast. And Thomas Bigfoot Spencer was famous because, one, he was apparently a giant. He was really big and tall. And the second thing was, one winter, and what they would do is they'd go over to, they go over from Virginia to Tennessee. They'd spend the summer and they'd hunt, and then they'd come back home to Virginia or North Carolina or wherever, back across the mountains. Well, he got the wild idea to spend the winter in Tennessee one year, and rather than go home, and he spent it in a hollowed out sycamore tree. So he made his home in a sycamore tree, which was really unconventional, but didn't turn out too well for Thomas Bigfoot Spencer. But I love the story because to me it's just about people doing things that they love, and there's kind of some parallels between that and everybody that moves to Nashville to be musicians. So here's to all those crazy coots like Thomas Bigfoot Spencer that moved to Nashville. I played a couple songs last night in the wrong key, so I'll try not to do that to Charlie and Andrew tonight. Thomas Bigfoot Spencer was a mountain of a man. He come down from Virginia into the Cumberland, hunting and a trapping and a chasing buffalo, a warming by the fire with the moon all aglow, to the sound of an old banjo. He said, I don't need to smoke cigars or sip on fancy wine. I like sleeping neath the stars. I was born to cross the line. Some men seek their fortunes in a city by the sea. Some find what they're looking for in the heart of a sycamore tree in the hills of Tennessee. Tom could cut a forest down with one mighty chop. Well, he once killed 100 deer with a single rifle shot. 7 foot, 8 foot, 9 foot tall, his legend grew and grew. Well, they say he ran to Arkansas in an hour or two, and he makes a mean bar stew. He said, I don't need to smoke cigars or sip on fancy wine. I like sleeping beneath the stars. I was born to cross the line. Some men seek their fortunes in a city by the sea. Some find what they're looking for in the heart of a sycamore tree in the hills of Tennessee. Chamberlain over there. A winter got so cold one year that Big Tom liked to die. Well, he carved out a hollow tree and he cozied up inside. Tom got ambushed late one night, they shot him in the head. I cried when I heard the news that old Bigfoot was dead. But I remember what he said. He said, I don't need to smoke cigars or sip on fancy wine. I like sleeping beneath the stars. I was born to cross the line. Some men seek their fortunes in a city by the sea, and some find what they're looking for in the heart of a sycamore tree in the hills of Tennessee. I don't need to smoke cigars or sip on fancy wine. I like sleeping beneath the stars. I was born to cross the line. Some men seek their fortunes in a city by the sea, and some find what they're looking for in the heart of a sycamore tree in the hills of Tennessee. Thank you. Yeah. All right, we're going to keep it over there in Tennessee for another song. Keep it kind of in the bluegrassy realm. Some of y'all probably know I was a history teacher for a long time and like to learn about history, local history in particular. And there was a place called the State of Franklin over in East Tennessee that existed for a while. If you're curious, look it up. But we got relatives and friends that live over there, kind of from the Smoky Mountains up to Johnson City and Kingsport in that area. So this is called State of Franklin. It's kind of about living in the mountains and having to be free, being free-spirited.
Irishmen on wagon wheels settled in these ancient hills. They cleared out the valley floor and then played it like a checkerboard, building barns and water mills, sometimes even whiskey stills in what was once West Carolina, tucked up under that Virginia line. In the state that is, but never was, where mile-high mountaintops run through your blood. It's a state of being, it suits me fine. This state of Franklin, state of mine. Oh, we ain't had much industry since way back in '83 when they moved the factory over to the Philippines. It was mostly rusted tracks, dusty roads and busted shacks, always taking up the slack, trying hard to not look back. In the state that it is, but never was, where mile-high mountaintops run through your blood. It's a state of being, it suits me fine. This state of Franklin, state of mine. Way down in the city, they say they've seen it all. They ain't seen nothing like our colors in the fall, nor our crooked streams lined with rhododendron. And out here the Milky Way, it's never ending. We're having us a time and we're still cooking up moonshine. Now we're farming Christmas trees, hauling freight and making these beats. Me and mine will find a way, we won't never move away. A mountaineer is free to roam, but I'll never leave my Franklin home. In the state that is, but never was, where mile-high mountaintops run right through your blood. It's a state of being, it suits me fine. This state of Franklin, state, a state of static, no, a state of motion. State of if and when I get the notion. It's a state of being, it suits me fine. This state of Franklin, state of mine. It's a state of being, it suits me fine. This state of Franklin, state of mine.
All right, I'm gonna strip it down a little bit, not with clothing, just with the instruments. I don't mean like we're just gonna wear our instruments and not clothes. I should just stop talking. Now this is another song. All right, this is another song that is about out west. and a lot of it's interesting. There's like these epicenters or something. Like there's like the Appalachian Mountains, and then I'm kind of, I don't know. I feel like a lot of my songs are about Wyoming and Montana, and this is this song's called "Cross the Divide," and I kind of pictured like there are a lot of reservations out there, like Native American reservations, and I kind of pictured a father, a Native American father whose son's getting into trouble when I wrote this song, and yeah, so it's called "Cross the Divide," and it's kind of to me like a Wyoming. It's like if the parable of the prodigal son were set in Wyoming, basically. The bitter roots bloomed on the first day of spring. I should have known that they'd ruin everything. You weren't still a boy, but you weren't yet a man. Trying to make sense of this god-awful land. Hard words were spoke on a late April night. We got in the whiskey and we got in the fight. You took the Chevy and the sawed-off shotgun. You drove up the pass like a thief on the run. Now I'm troubled in mind, and I've always been the jealous kind. But I let go of my pride. If you'd cross the divide. Now I wouldn't think you any less of a man were you to ride in a whorehouse on the streets of Cheyenne, or cooking up meth down in Laramie. I don't give a damn, boy, just come home to me. Now I'm troubled in mind, and I've always been the jealous kind. But I let go of my pride. If you'd cross the divide. There's this plastic bag on no barbed wire fence. I've watched it for days and I'm trying to make sense. Twist as it might, it can't shake itself free. And I can't figure out if it's you or it's me. I'm troubled in mind, and I've always been the jealous guy.
I'd let go of my pride if you'd cross the divide. The divide.
Thanks. All right, this is another new one. It's called Lucky Man.
I've started over and over. Well, I've had time to think about the things I've done. As I've started over and over. I've grown tired of living life out on the run. No more boozing, no more abusing. There ain't nothing you could cook up I ain't tried. I've been running round this town like a dog that lost his brain. And I've been so burned out I gave up on my life. But I got a second wind and I can feel it kicking in. Ain't nothing gonna slow me down this time. Oh, I have another chance. I'm gonna sing and dance like the lucky man I am until I die. I have wandered and I have murdered. Oh, I took all the rage inside and cut it loose. I wrapped my sins around me in an instrument of death. Then I hung myself up with them on that noose. Then I heard about a man who could wash the hurt away. If only I would turn to him and pray. Now I'm owning up for all the pain I brought into the world. And I'm gonna start a new life here today. Yeah, I got a second wind and I can feel it kicking in. Ain't nothing gonna slow me down this time. Oh, I have another chance, so I'm gonna sing and dance like the lucky man I am until I die. Oh, I have another chance, I'm gonna sing and dance like the lucky man I am until I die. Like the lucky man I am until I die.
Thanks. All right, well, I don't want to get too heavy on y'all. I'm gonna try to lighten it up a little bit. Give me 1 second, let me tune. I once heard the great bluegrass artist Tim O'Brien say, "We tune because you care, because you don't want us to be out of tune. So sometimes it's worth it for us to take a second, and it's good for all of us." But anyway, yeah, I got to play Douglas Corner Cafe last night, which was incredible. It's a place where John Prine and Alan Jackson and Neil Diamond and Townes Van Zandt, all these guys got to play. Guy Clark recorded a live album from there, and I got to play there, and it was incredible. And now I'm getting to play Ambrose West, and that's incredible too. Isn't this place awesome? Thanks to Keith for doing the sound for us tonight, and I'm forgetting the fella's name downstairs at the bar, but make sure you tip him good. And yeah, so we're set here in West Asheville, and I figured that would be a good place for me to play this song. I did not play this last night, because I think the people in Nashville sort of get it, but y'all get it more, I hope. It's called West Asheville Hipster Blues. I used to live in Brooklyn. I couldn't pay my bills. I got out while the getting was good. I moved down to Asheville. Whoa, I got a place off Haywood Road where even the ridges were blue. And I got the low down, broke down West Asheville hipster blues. Sunday morning I'd go out for brunch till the prices got high. $17 for chicken and waffles? Man, they're robbing us blind. Ain't no more bottomless mimosas for me, no more scrambled tofu. I got the low down, the broke down, the West Asheville hipster blues. Now my favorite craft brewery, they made a killer stout. But one day they got a call from Budweiser. Right away they sold out. Ooh. So when y'all drinking that local IPA, y'all remember, hey, this Bud's for you. I got the dried up, the fed up West Asheville hipster blues. I drive down to the farmer's market, not some grocery store, come on, man, to ensure that my organic produce was responsibly sourced. But my skinny jeans got caught in my fixie bike and my chain broke in two. And I got the flannel shirt wearing West Asheville hipster blues. Come on, Charlie. Living out Leicester Highway, the wrong side of Patton Avenue. And my girl, she up and left me 'cause I couldn't pay for her tattoos. Can't nobody afford to live in this town. And what's a poor boy to do? Well, I got the beatnik, bohemian, indie ironic, the tree-hugging, peace-loving, type-riding, bike-riding, vintage vinyl, vegan, West Asheville hipster blues. You liked it? All right. I think people, there's people in every city that can identify with that song now. I call it the Brooklynization of America. I feel like every city's got their cool hipster part of town now, and ours is West Asheville. I love West Asheville, and I can sing that song because part of that is it fits me. So I'm kind of making fun of myself too a little bit, but anyway, y'all doing all right? We got some more for you. We're gonna play a couple off of the my first album. This is the first song that I ever wrote, and it's called "Soul in the Wood." My granddad came to America in 1894. Third-class trip on a crowded ship, and he left that Galway shore. He saved his pay and he made his way into North Carolina. Handmade chairs in the Piedmont air, out of the tall white pine, out of the tall white pine.
climb up a holler for a fistful of dollars and his long head of lax would chop. An oak could beach that his arms could reach, then he'd haul it back to his shop. He said, I love this land and the fact that a man earns a living for an honest trade. And the soul in the wood and it sure feels good, working with my hands all day. Working with my hands all day. Put away 8 hours a day in the Thomasville factory. On black walnut, heating, measuring cut for cupboards and cabinetry. Spent 44 years his entire career putting panels and knobs on door. Coat of varnish so it wouldn't tarnish, and send it to the furniture store. Now they send it to the furniture store. A dust bowl, yes, saw nary a tear, and there was bread on the table he made. Stood strong and proud and his voice boomed loud when he winked with a grin and say, I love this land and the fact that a man earns a living for an honest trade. The soul in the wood and it sure feels good, working with my hands all day. Working with my hands all day. Go on, work, Charlie. My turn now, but the plant shut down from Hickory to Lexington. Now your lazy boy comes from Hanoi and your sofa from old Saigon. Then they had an idea to build an IKEA in the heart of the old New Orleans state. Downsizing and globalizing killed the local industry's fate. It sealed the local industry's fate. Strings and a neck that sings out a flat top guitar sound. So assembly line, so I make my dime playing gigs from town to town. Love this land and the fact that a man earns a living for an honest trade. And the soul in the wood and it sure feels good, working with my hands all day. Working with my hands all day. The soul in the wood and it sure feels good, working with my hands all day. Working with my hands all day. Thank you. All right, well, this next one is just vintage dad joke. You know, this is just a vintage dad joke level, but it also just makes perfect sense to me. It's like, I'm kind of surprised nobody's done this before, but it's called Song on the Radio. I couldn't get discovered in Columbus. My lead went cold in Hot Springs, Arkansas. My picking was too slow for Rapid City. I was too bland for Salt Lake in Utah. That DJ said no thanks in El Paso. And there weren't no bread in Bakersfield for me. Well, they said I was too creepy up in Erie. I was only fair to Midland and Abilene. I drive from town to town. They shoot me down. It don't matter where I go. All it's gonna take is a lucky break to get my song on the radio. Bird was cooked in Phoenix, Arizona, and I lost all hope in Gainesville from the start. I couldn't liberate my songs in Lincoln,
And in Great Falls, I completely fell apart. I fired away in Rifle, Colorado, and I played it straight and bend, but I still failed. Well, my mood was blue in Redding, California, 'cause I'd prayed in Providence to no avail. I'd drive from town to town, and they shoot me down. It don't matter where I go. All it's gonna take is a lucky break to get my song on the radio. Come on, John. True, I got nowhere in Mobile, and I couldn't quite catch fire there in Flint. Well, I thought I might hit pay dirt out in Golden, but on and on and on my bad luck went. So I drove my pickup back to Plainview, Texas, stack of songs and my guitar in tow. I walked into my local public station, WNCW 88.7, and they put me on that midnight country show. What do you know? I drove from town to town. They shot me down. Don't matter where I played. All it finally took was a friendly look from my hometown DJ. That's right. All it finally took was a friendly look from my hometown DJ. All right, thanks. Well, yeah, we got just, I'm sure all y'all saw it, but back there on the table next to the door, there are CDs and T-shirts, and Britt's got some posters, I think. I've got some hats back there, so check that out on your way out. Yeah, it really was a pleasure to have Britt open up. Man, does she have some pipes or what? That's incredible. Yeah, so anyway, this next song we recorded on the first album. It's called Redbird. I'm sending this one out to my friend Paul from Linville, or up that way at least. This is a song about friendship, and it's kind of set in the West, but it also mentions a guy named Solly, who was a Cherokee, who was kind of like a Christ figure almost to the Cherokee, because he was martyred by the U.S. cavalry. He was blamed for something he didn't really do, but he took the blame anyway, so that the people that he was with didn't get massacred. And part of the reason why the Koala Boundary exists today, my understanding, is that Solly did that. Excuse me. So it mentions him, and this kind of honors him in this song. So it's called Redbird and Blackbird. Redbird lighted on a limb to sing a soulful song, pretty as a choir hymn when a blackbird came along. A blackbird, he was forlorn, life had gotten hard. The dogs were running through the corn and the cats were in the yard. So Redbird said, let's sing a tune and use a minor key, or keep it heavy, as the doing will add despondency. Blackbird hadn't sung in years and his voice was all but gone. The Redbird's notion hit his ear and he said he'd sing along. They went, ooh, 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 ooh.
Redbird filled the canopy with bluer days gone by, with ancient groves of chestnut trees and hemlocks to the sky. A blackbird sang an elegy for Sally and his sons, and every other Cherokee who had faced the white man's gun. They went, ooh, brought back all the beauty from centuries ago. They stuffed their beaks with chestnut seeds that had fallen in the snow. And when they finished singing, they let the sound ring on. Blackbird started grinning, and he flew off toward the dawn.
Y'all doing okay? All right. So this next song is called Turpentine. I'm going to send this one out to my friends Jim and Diane Abbott, who are my dear neighbors who live next door. And Jim has spent pretty much his life working toward racial reconciliation in Columbia, South Carolina, and Asheville, North Carolina as an Episcopal priest. And this song is called Turpentine. The long name for it, if you're not into that brevity thing, anybody get that? Big Lebowski reference? All right. The long name for it is Turpentine, Greenwood, Oklahoma, 1921. So if you're curious about this song, I recommend Googling Greenwood, Oklahoma, 1921. And you can type in Turpentine too, because that's part of the story. All right.
Look in my eyes, and what do you see? A man on the run, or have I been set free? We were brothers in arms, we were brothers at war. Now the gun's in your hand and my blood's on the floor. You were Cain, I was Abel, and you brought no reprieve. With the cards on the table, except the one up your sleeve. I gave you the bread, and I poured out the wine. You gave me turpentine. You gave turpentine. See, you took it all when you took my name. You measured it out and you set it aflame. Your green eyes filled with jealousy. You beat on the drum when I was begging for mercy. I took it for granted I loved you back then, but the seeds that we planted blew away with the wind. You ripped off the bark, you cut up the pine, and you filled me with turpentine. Turpentine. Turpentine.
Thank you. Thanks, y'all. All right. Well, really appreciate you listening. Just got a couple more for you. I have a newsletter called What's Brewing. Yeah, dad jokes, I know. Yeah, you can check out my website, brewdavis.com, and find out more about some upcoming shows. I'm playing some breweries, go figure, around kind of the greater Asheville area, got to go down to Charlotte and play the Evening Muse in May and open for Brit, sort of a, reversal sort of thing. Really looking forward to that, and I think I'm going to try to roll out a new thing called the Song of the Month Club, where I just basically on the newsletter I'll send you a really rough acoustic kind of version of one of these songs, and just for your enjoyment and pleasure and to get some music out there. So if you're curious about that, you want to check it out, go to my website, brewdavis.com, and there's plenty of information there. This next song is from my daughter. It's called We'll Catch You on the Flip Side of the Moon.
It's the end of the day, when the colors turn gray. Now don't start to whine, oh, you know it's that time. Go on upstairs, pick the leaves out your hair, grab grab your toothbrush, quit making a fuss. We'll catch you on the flip side of the moon. Your mama just said, please stay in your bed. I'll fetch you some milk, but you've got to be still. No one's in here, and there's nothing to fear. It's just you and us, the sweet baby Gus. We'll catch you on the flip side of the moon. And it don't mean a thing what tomorrow will bring. So just lay down to sleep and pray your soul to keep. Oh, it's a big old world. It's your brave little girl. The sun's gonna show. The flowers will grow. We'll catch you on the flip side of the moon. We'll catch you on the flip side of the moon.
Thanks, y'all. Thanks so much. All right, well, this is another song off the new album. I'm going to dedicate this to my friend Daddy Lee and my friend Big Mo. We lost Big Mo on Thursday. She passed away from ALS, and I wrote this song for Jen, and Big Mo and Daddy Lee are kind of like, I don't know what to describe them as, but they're just dear, dear friends. They're our parents' age, and Mo is one of the most vigorous people that I knew and got to travel out west, take photographs and do dog trials, and she really lived life well, and she died well too. And this song I wrote for Jen years ago, and she said, years ago, she said, why haven't you written me a love song? And I said, well, I have to get inspired. And it was the wrong turn. I didn't say what I meant. What I meant was I had to think of the right theme for the song. You know, she's obviously my inspiration, but she took it well when I said that. And then I played her this song, and she's like, there it is. That's it. That's all I've been wanting all these years. So I'm going to play this tonight for Daddy Lee and Mo.
When nightingales have flown and the fields have turned to stone, when the riverbeds dry as a bone, I'll climb the mountain with you. And when the pictures start to fade and the second hand, it cuts like a blade. But when the hourglass has had its say, I'll climb the mountain with you. days are long and the nights are cold. The years get short, but they take a toll. So come on, baby, that mountain's high, but I got a mind to cross the borderline. So hug the boy, kiss the girl, take me by the hand, we'll take on the world. Let's take a walk into the blue. I'll climb the mountain with you. We'll lose ourselves to find something new. I'll climb the mountain with you. I'll climb the mountain with you.
Thanks so much, y'all. All right, well, we're going to get Miss Britt Drozd up here on the stage. We got a sort of a finale for you. Thanks so much. Y'all been a great audience. Really appreciate seeing so many familiar faces and some friends that I haven't seen in a little while. And, yeah, I hope to see you again soon and obviously be out there and, you know, at the merch table. So as they said on WDVX yesterday when we were on the radio, come and shake and howdy with us. Say hello. And thanks again for coming. Thanks to Ambrose West and to Keith and all the other guys that are working back here. And thanks to Miss Britt Drozd for coming all the way up from Charlotte. And again, this is Charlie Chamberlain on the electric guitar, acoustic guitar, and mandolin. Mr. Andrew Platt on the bass. Big round of applause for Mr. Ryan Lassiter on the drums. This is a, thank you, and this is a sort of a benediction for all of us, and it's called Give It Away, and to me it's just a song about trying to make sure that, you know, for me, it means don't give what I have, don't give my burdens to the world, give them to God. To you, it could be given to God, it can be given to your family, give them to whoever you feel like giving them to, but don't give them to people that don't love you. That's the bottom line. So thanks again. Give it away. Here we go.
Don't want to say is that you're feeling the strain. You're like a weather vane and you're just spinning away. And what you need to see is just a moment of peace and not the third degree at the end of the day. But you give it away. You're rolling along, and you chase the siren song, but now you're caught in the storm and you're tossed by the waves. And who you're trying to be is who they want you to be, but you can't get what you need, and it's a tired refrain. When you give it away. Gotta lose yourself. I'm only here to help. Why don't you have a drink from the well? It'll loosen the chain. I give you my guarantee that if you wanna be free, you gotta give it to me. Don't give it away. Don't give it away. Don't give it away.
right. Thanks so much, y'all. Thanks for coming out. Be out there to Shakin' Howdy. Thanks so much. Appreciate y'all coming. Get
Brew
home safe.
Davis. Brew Davis, everybody.
Britt Drozda.
Put up the brew.